Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacino. There I am. How is everyone doing? Happy New Year's Eve, and then Happy New Year's tomorrow. By the way, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing the bell, and hitting that like button. So, hope everyone stayed out of trouble today. Low volume day, pretty much a do-nothing day to avoid getting chopped up. Let's see. Hey, Ken, thank you for being here. Again, Happy New Year's to you and everyone else. Thank you for the support and being a member of Discord. 42 Lou. Happy New Year to everyone. And there is Wavy coming in. It wouldn't be, the day wouldn't be complete without Wavy. Happy New Year's. Yes. So there was literally, from my perspective, nothing to do today. Nothing to do. The only thing you could do was get yourself into trouble. Inside day. Higher low than yesterday, lower high. The real catalyst is going to be the delivery numbers. They're supposedly going to come out Sunday. If they don't, I just suspect them Monday. We had the comments yesterday. Is it going to be sell the news when they come out? I think if they beat, and there's the low estimate of 266, so definitely going to beat that. It's probably going to be 285, 290. If they beat that, fine. It'll probably we'll probably gap up. And then we'll see what happens if we then sell the news. We've had this nice little, I'd still consider this a flag pullback at this point. You took all the levels off. You can see I'll be watching going into Monday with this declining trend line, which is now official on the daily. So this is the defining point from December 30th because the next day does not touch it. So it's sort of a concept of a pausing bar to help draw the trend lines, but you can go look in the trend line videos. By the way, let's see. Wavy, joining the Discord channel was the best decision I made this year. Well, thank you. Thank you. Very choppy, but caught a decent short into the close, especially that NASDAQ sell-off. By the way, if you're not already watching, like especially the S&P and NASDAQ, and then for trading some of these big name stocks, especially like NASDAQ for these momentum, I guess you'd call, even though it's an automotive company, you guess it's traded like a momentum tech stock. There's Tesla. Here's the NASDAQ. Still a nice little bear flag pulling back to the rotation zone. Tesla. Nice little bear flag pulling back to the rotation zone after a big ramp up. Let's go back to the NASDAQ. Big multi-day ramp up, pullback. So that's also when Wavy said, you start seeing the sell-off, into the closing period, and then you have Tesla also sell off in the closing period and rebound. So you can use that information in conjunction with each other. If you're not watching it, you definitely should. You should at least put it on your watch list, or if you're tracking multiple things on the screen. I don't generally divvy up this screen because it gets too crowded for the videos, but during the day I have multiple things up. And I'll watch. A lot of times the futures will start rolling over or ramping up right before you get some of these names rolling, following the moves. So one little bit of advice I would give you for going into next year is don't just watch the stock or stocks. Make sure you're watching the broad market for clues, because a lot of times it can help at least keep you out of trouble and also give you information to help you trade better. Yeah, the volume just wasn't there. Again, a very low volume day. It's best on days like this. Now, if it breaks a key level for stops, you still got to take them. I'm never going to say don't take stops, because your stops are based off of key levels. But days like this, it's best not to make any major decisions as long as nothing's hit. If you have low volume days, if it hits a profit target and you're supposed to take profits, you take profits. If it still does hit a stop, you take a stop. You don't ignore that. But other than that, it's not worth it to get chopped up or messed up. You might be able to grab a trade. Let's just take a look for, because we're going to get those delivery numbers. Let's see. Whisper is 70. Yeah, we saw that with the 70K plus cars in China. I saw that number. Do you plan to start intraday trading commentary or suggestions, etc.? I'm thinking about it. I mean, that takes a lot of my days. I do a lot of stuff. I want to get before I do that, Raj, I'd want to get the revised trading course out. That's a, a lot of hours of work. Everything is getting converted. I'm taking some old stuff, I'm updating it. It's hundreds of hours of work literally to get that out. Once that out, then I will assess, if we want to do maybe some kind of other than Discord or in conjunction with Discord, some live commentary that would be for a fee. I'd have to charge something for that because again it would take up a lot of my time. But I will consider that if enough people want me to do it, I'll consider it even more strongly. Let's just take a look at the day's action. It was pretty much, let me right off the bat, selling off, a little gap up, then quickly selling the gap. I put these levels in Discord right there from the opening bar high to this little pausing bar low, giving 1063.27. Then 1061.19. You see, we had this little double, but it just ripped off of us. It didn't trigger here. This bar didn't trigger it. You'd have to even trade it on a shorter term, like a 1 minute time frame. Then running up, then just a slow bleed down. You see retesting this other key area, that 25% harmonic, and that area that enabled us to bump down the harmonics right there. And didn't get to the final harmonic, but I stopped really paying attention right here, just rolling down with the rotation zone with the NASDAQ, and there was nothing to do. Really, there was a potential double here that then turned into a triple, which is a continuation pattern, slightly favoring, well, the continuation side. But there was, from my perspective, there's just a couple things to do from the short side, but nothing worth really going all in on, and nothing from a longer term perspective. I'm just keeping an eye still. We got the rotation zone. The first little level of support is 1050 now. Then I'm back down to about 1035. If we get that close below 1035, I'm back to neutral mode on the daily to the upside. If we, I will. If the numbers come out, I'm expecting a gap. But if we don't and we run through, I'm still watching this declining trend line on the 3rd of January, Monday. It's roughly coming in about 1073. So we start breaking above there. Then I will get into a slight bullish mode. You see how nicely it's held right there. So bullish line in the sand for me. Oops. Didn't want that. Let me take that level off actually. Bullish line in the sand. Let me clean up some of these other levels here. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Where's my bullish line? Where is it? Is it buried? There it is. Bullish line coming into Monday is got to get generally above about 1075. You start coming in here, getting above there, then I'll be watching for some more upwards price action. Next area coming up here, there's just a lot of stopping points, but my next key area would be right around 1093. Then I'm back at 1100. Then 1106 to 1109, then the 1120 area, which we have not been able to get through yet. Then above 1120, we got 1127, 1135. Those are all the levels to the upside that I am watching. And let's just, 1 hour is in technically bearish mode, but the 4 hours in bullish mode. The daily is in bullish mode, and the weekly is still in bullish mode. Weekly support coming in right about just 1027. Major weekly support coming in about 934. Let's see what everybody says. Motor trade, let's see. Bar Church says this, as they sell the news, we're looking at 1,000 plus or minus 10 10 to plus or minus 15. Tesla's been rolling over for 3 days now, and NAs have crossed. The shorter NAs have definitely crossed. They are in bearish mode. My major stuff being the 4 hour time frame is still, the daily and weekly is still in bullish mode. Those. Yes, please trade signals. Uh, hey, Waka Waka. Uh, it was good. It was good. Everything's going. I'm hoping we'll have a even better year next year, even if the news is good. I think we'll have to sell the event news. I wouldn't be surprised to see a gap up and then a sell the news. I think we gap up and squeeze to 1100 Monday. Obviously, if the numbers are good, I could see retesting. I could actually see shorter term basis. Let's get back to this chart. I mean, if you technically got up here, by the way, before anybody asks, even if they're, I know the people who are watching it won't be asking this, but on live stream, this is not a double bottom because it's not reversing a big enough move. So don't look at that as a double bottom. It'd be interesting because if it gapped up and then started to fill the gap and came back down and broke the low from December 30th, it would be a sloppy double top. So we'll have to see that with the sell the news. I mean, we can all think that, again, we had a long talk yesterday about predictions. And we can all throw out, we're going to gap up. It's going to sell the news. It doesn't do anything besides what are we going to trade going into Monday. If we start breaking down below 1053, I'm really focused on this 1046 area, bottom of the 4-hour rotation zone. We break down below that. I'm focused on the bottom of the daily rotation zone and 37.5% retracement. If we close below that, I'm back to neutral mode and we'll start watching for a bigger pullback because that will probably shift it'll be neutral mode on the daily, neutral mode on the 4-hour, 1 hour will be bearish. So that's my key areas. And to the upside, again, it is above this trend line. So if we gap up, then we're just going to do the gap plays. Put on the retracements from on your 5-minute chart from today's close, which is 1057, to wherever the gap is. And as long as it doesn't close below that 62.5%, we'll watch for a turn up and plays to the upside. My big breakout point agrees with yours at 1106. That's nice to know, Motor Trade. Hope you've had a wonderful year and have a fantastic year next year with all your trading. Can't trade on predictions. It's just a gamble. Exactly. That's why we're still. It's sometimes fun to just talk about, especially on the last day of the year. Oh, what do you think is going to happen with the delivery numbers? But they're not. It's not tradable. Somebody can say, I think it's going to gap here. I think it's going to gap here. Well, if you're making predictions based off what anybody thinks on this channel just by predictions, you're probably not going to be a very successful long-term trader. We can only do actionable items. Now, that's where you know where your stops are. That's where you know where targets are. So look, if it gaps up, we already know what we're going to do with the retracement, with the gap retracements. We already have our levels targeted to the upside, with the major area being that 1100, then 1106. And to the downside, we know where the key support is, and if that's broken and we start rolling over, then we're watching for the bigger pullback. And we can only trade price action. Okay, one last question for you. If you had to guess, what is Tesla 52-week low and 52-week high in? Oh, geez. Oh, geez. I have no idea. I could do the low better than the high. I think we will see a retest of my high probability retest area that we'll definitely see somewhere around the 800s. Then I actually think we could possibly see a retest of this year's lows for the lows. The highs, that's all going to depend on what. I think we're going to set the highs early on in this year. So whatever that means, it's going to be early on in this year, and then it's going to be more of a drawdown year. All right, Danny has 850 to 1900. Wavy has 600 to 1500. Who's coming in? Who's coming in at over 2000? Who's coming in over 2000? Somebody take notes. Or I guess this is archived, so we can go back next year and we can take a look. Oh, what would I have to say? I don't even know for the upside. Good to hear. Just for fun. Yeah, it is just for fun. Nobody trade off these recommendations. You'd have to be insane. You'd literally have to be insane to trade off anything anybody thinks. And you have stuff all over on the street from low to high predictions. So that's where we have to learn to trade the price action, especially for momentum stocks, because you can't generally rely on strong valuations. No way 445. Is that a no way we're going to see 445? Yeah, not investment advice, no comment. If we're applying price right, I bid on. Ken's going with $1. You know what, Ken? And I know you're doing the price of right thing, but if you're right, there's going to be a lot of unhappy people at the end of next year. If it splits, I'll take split adjusted 1800. Oh, wow. Split adjusted 1800. Two new factors. Well, we'll see when the Germany one actually comes online. That's going to be interesting. The Austin one looks like it's coming up in the beginning of the year. 445 to 650 is my target for 2022. And let everybody just hope Ken is wrong. Ken, we're all hoping. Well, it'd be great trading if it went down to $1. So you could make, you know what? That could make a lot of money for everybody if you turn bearish. $1 at $1, what does that make, Elon? Well, he could bet you a signed dollar. It could be the signed dollar that it's worth when it hits $1. Uh, Motor Trade says 850 to 1650. Okay, your low is 850. From world's richest man to a McDonald's worker, I'd still think. Well, who knows? Because he's got a large stock margin, so it could be interesting though. Everyone's forgetting what that happened to the Nifty 50s in 1969 during the inflation run. Yeah, that's a good point. Some will say that will be after the split. So if Tesla's $1, we have bigger problems to worry about. Oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to have to revisit this. We're going to have to, it's going to be archived on YouTube, so we will have to revisit this at the end of 2022. Wavy thinks the next split will fuel the next bull run. What the bulls are waiting for. Well, we shall see. Again, all predictions for fun. And with that, I want everybody to have a safe and happy New Year's Eve and a wonderful New Year's. I'm doing the market overview, which is also important, on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Central Time. No rest for the weary, so we can prepare for next week. Monday is still generally a lighter trading day. Everything should be back to full. Now, I'm not saying necessarily Tesla, because the with delivery numbers, if they come out, it could fuel a lot of stuff going on there. But other than that, the broad market really will pick up again on Tuesday. Again, thank you everyone for being here. I'm glad to have you all around, and thanks for being part of this. And thanks for your support. And remember, please leave likes and comments on the videos to help it get out there to more people, and share it with anybody, not just this, but the market overview stuff, so people can really learn to trade the price action and become better traders and investors. Thank you, Wavy. Let's see. Correction in February, March, 445 to 650s, and run up to 1200, and then 90% crash in 2023. Okay. Well, that's a very specific prediction. I want that one archived. Thank you, Sterling. May every song be your favorite tune. Thank you, Motor Trader. Again, thank you everyone for being here. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see everybody who can join me on Sunday.